You'll notice he no longer suffers delusions of humanity.
Affirmative.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. And flip out, man.
Has editing your content become a burden, or you just don't have the skill set?
I wish I could focus on content production, but post-editing takes so much time and effort.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We'll look no further. Here at Asylum 99 Studios, I can help you create professional quality videos that will be sure to captivate viewers. With my creativity and skill, along with your content, assets, and ideas, I can bring your vision into the simulation. I offer the following services: video clipping and organization, content creation, VFX, SFX, and motion graphics, intro and outro assets. Requests may be taken upon further discussion. So if you're a content creator, short on time because you're out living your best life, or you wish you could focus all your energy into producing content, reach out to Asylum 99 Studios today.
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
Don't settle for mediocre videos. Hire me as your freelance video editor and create videos that meet your standards. Asylum 99 Studios. Release your creativity.
What's going on, Ken folks? Today we're going to talk about Skynet internment camp, or as I like to call it, the open air asylum. Right? Now, I've alluded to it multiple times with multiple videos on this channel, but I don't mind being a broken record because the times we're in, my videos are not for entertainment, right? These are warnings. I'm trying to grab the attention of anybody who still got a spark in their head to wake up and get a move on, because the clock is ticking and the clock is against us, right? All of you people that watch the Jetsons and you said that's the kind of life you want. Y'all watch all these movies with all the futuristic cities and cyberpunk and all of that stuff. That was just to lure you in. It's the bait. And once you get hooked in that trap, you're not gonna like how the rest of your life play out. That's the only way I can say it. So we're gonna go ahead and roll this tape. Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a 30-year global project of private banks and governments working with big tech to wire every device on Earth into an AI system that's used to control the world population through central bank digital currencies and a universal basic credit score that penalizes you for your political and religious beliefs or simply the lifestyle you lead. And now the public has begun to awaken to the fact that when they go update their phones or update their smart cars, they're being told that the government and corporations are tracking you, controlling you, and will decide when and where you can go in your car.
Now, if you listen closely to what he described, it sounds an awful lot like how you are moderated on social media, doesn't it? That's just the tool that is used to condition us for the future that they're laying out. They get you worried about your speech and all that stuff just so you don't get banned from sharing stupid videos and laughing with your friends. Then they're gonna ramp it up, like he's explaining, to your everyday life. You share an offensive video, you can't go to the grocery store tonight. Stuff like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is beyond dangerous. We're about to break it down right now.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next.
I've been warning you for decades about this, but that was when this was all in beta testing mode. Now it's going operational. People all over the world are noticing that the meters in their house and the controls for their air conditioning and heating are being remotely controlled by smart meters on the side of their house. And people are getting messages that, hey, we're turning off your air conditioning or your heat, or we're controlling the temperature because we're in a peak time right now and there's not enough energy.
Which is why Tony Tallarico tried to crank up the AC.
I mean, it was 90 out and it was right during the peak period.
That's when he found out he had no control of his thermostat. A message from Excel on his thermostat saying temperature locked during an energy emergency.
So they can turn off your heat, excuse me, they can turn off your AC in the middle of the summer for a made-up reason.
Man, this is some bullshit!
It's kind of scary, ain't it? In that situation, you didn't even do anything. They just decided, y'all don't need no air. Go ahead and cook, right? Kind of like a couple years ago when that snowstorm blew through Texas and everybody was down bad. Power was knocked out and stuff like that in the dead of winter. And you couldn't turn the heat on because I can't remember the name of the company that runs Texas. Electricity and stuff like that. But they was playing with them. They didn't give them people enough power, and some people froze to death. But you know where this comes from? It comes from laziness and conditioning. Because all of the propaganda that they put in your face at these movie theaters and some of these TV shows showed you this. Ways to make our lives extremely easy. So easy that we make ourselves obsolete to ourselves. Y'all have way too much trust in other people to take care of you and your livelihood.
Now, the UN, the WF, they've all admitted for years that under the new carbon austerity, they're going to cut the energy supply where there's not enough energy and train you to be rationed. But it's way worse than just the smart meters. All of the cars in the Western world, from Australia to the United States, the governments have passed the same laws. They passed it last year here in the US, Biden did. It was his bill he supported, where trackers are in your cars that are also kill switches that control everywhere you go and what you do and can turn your car off or tell you where you can go in your car with geo-fencing, just like drones can't fly.
There's a joke. Well, it really wasn't a joke, but I used to say it all the time during the ramping up of EVs or electronic vehicles. And I used to say, well, I still say it. Now one day, they're gonna lock those doors on that car and they're gonna drive you to a detention center, FEMA camp, death camp, internment camp, concentration camp, whatever term you prefer. They're gonna use those EVs. Your own EV that you paid for is gonna take you there.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And it won't unlock or stop until it gets you where they wanted to take you. Do you really want these maniacs to have that kind of control over you? I'd rather get out and pump my own gas.
I didn't think so.
Talk to you about a smart feature called geofencing, which makes driving in low emission zone even easier. When your vehicle enters a control area, such as a low emission zone, the system will automatically switch to all electric drive mode.
Vehicle tracking features of Suzuki Connect. First off, with the live vehicle tracking features, you can get real-time updates on your car's precise location. It helps you to clearly follow or see where your car is at all times when it's moving.
Man, this is some bullshit!
See, that's what you gotta pay attention to in the propaganda that they use to get you guys warmed up to the idea of, you know, this whole digital age thing. They tell you you can figure out where your car is and monitor at all times. But what he's neglecting to tell you is that the government's also monitoring your car at all times. Just wanted to throw that in there.
What's even more interesting is you can also define a particular area through the geofencing function. And if your car crosses the defined border or area, you'll get an alert on your phone.
And now in Germany, they've announced this summer, they plan on banning people using their cars during the weekends to cut carbon and to follow the UN treaty. I'm going to show you an example of one man who shows you the computer terminal on his smart car where he went, took it in to get it serviced, And then he was given the update that now they may turn his car off or decide where he can go, when he can go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a technocracy, a form of government where a ruling bureaucratic system via government and big tech, through all of these computers that are embedded in every appliance, you name it, control and track where you go and what you do. And it's all integrated into your social credit score.
Fuck that! I don't need that shit in my life.
And y'all know what I'm going to say here. What does that sound like to you? Yes, it sounds like the Matrix. Because that's exactly what it is. Y'all heard the old cliche. The Matrix was a documentary, not a movie. I like to say the Matrix was a warning. Or disclosure. This is what we're going to do to y'all here soon. Get ready for it. Most people just slept on through the warning, slept on through the alarm clock, and hit the snooze button. So soon you're going to have to pay for it.
You stupid fuck!
China's about 5 years ahead of the West. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not technology itself that is bad, it's that all the technology, including the smartphone in your pocket, has been deployed to track you, to censor you, to control you. And they're now setting up geofencing systems where they can hit one button and turn off a whole city's cell phones or only select groups' phones where your phone won't work, or it won't shoot video, or it simply turns off when you go into certain areas. They've been testing this for decades, but now it's all rolling out. It broke in Congress last week, what I told you a decade ago. The IRS is using AI to track all your financial purchases that are digital and to track your bank accounts.
Man, this is some bullshit!
So, the IRS has gotten into AI, huh? We have the power to deal with the IRS. And that's to stop paying them taxes, and if you are a W-2 employee, stop signing the paper saying that you're going to pay the taxes and make your job, your employers, pay the taxes like they're supposed to. But your job ain't tell you that. But you know why that is? It's because you're a slave. Slave to the system. Shout out to Macks V.
This was something that was discovered by an undercover journalist, and what they found is that the IRS has claimed that they have access to every single person's bank account. This person also indicated that they've been working with the Department of Justice and that they have absolutely no problem whatsoever going after the little guy to make sure that they are paying their taxes.
Man, this is some bullshit!
Now you know why they armed the IRS. Because now, not paying your taxes is going to be a capital offense punished by death.
And some will say, well, I have nothing to hide, I don't care. No, it is a predatory system using this for the top corporations that gather all this data through their operations and through government to integrate it into AI systems to game the economy and vertically integrate the system. I'm not against driverless cars. I'm not against all this technology, but it's being deployed day one to remove humans out of the power equation.
I believe you should be against all of these things. Because it was created with the sole intent of enslaving us. What do I need a car for if I'm not the one driving it? I can just go get on the bus. I can just get an Uber, a taxi, hitchhike, something. I don't need the car to drive me. Right? They were able to get this through because they've gotten everybody hooked on this drug called science fiction and futurism, etc. So I don't ever want to hear anybody tell me that the stupid box or the damn dumb screen isn't powerful. It guides a lot of you people's footsteps, literally.
With a global digital dictatorship. Here's one example.
Government's remote control of car use installed on my car with no informed consent. I bought a Hyundai Kona EV 18 months ago, 71 plate, from a dealer. The car went in for a maps upgrade and came back as a write-off for me. They took the opportunity to upgrade the Blue Link infotainment software, and when I started it up, I was presented with a new screen saying terms and conditions changed. I was bored that day, so I flicked down a few pages and was about to jump out when I read it was now equipped with geofencing and geotiming capabilities. We're talking about anything with an SOS button. My wife's car is a 2016. They can set range limits and time limits remotely. The terms say it's not used without consent unless required by law. The last sentence voids the whole thing.
I want to be 100% clear. This is an official plan by the major corporations of the planet connected to BlackRock and several privately owned central banks to deploy this system to control all behavior on Earth, to then be able to incrementally cut off resources to force depopulation. This is feudalism on steroids, and it's happening now. And it's very important to note that members of Parliament in Europe and members of our Congress here in the United States are so technically ignorant themselves, they still don't even understand the fact that for decades all cell phones are tracked in live time, and the heads of big tech have even lied to them in Congress because it's like someone from the future talking to a caveman. They are so easy to fool and control. It is the intelligence agencies, big tech, and the larger corporations that have deployed this system, and the governments themselves have become ceremonial and vestigial.
Like I said in previous videos, if you are a servant of these people, you have to understand that you are a pawn. You're not an important piece. You are a loose end and a means to an end. And when your job comes to completion, they're gonna get rid of you. You see stupid people in your government because they'll look at something that's detrimental to all of us, including them, and they'll sign it anyway because in their foolish mind, they believe that they will be spared. Which shows you that the pawns of these people don't even pay attention to the propaganda that they use against us. Because the same movies you see, they go and see. And they can't put 2 and 2 together that they're the pawn that's going to be exterminated. You can't be trusted by your own people, species in this case. Why would another species trust you? They won't. They're going to get rid of you. Just like all you people helping China take over the so-called United States. They're going to get rid of you. Believe you me, and you better take that to the bank. If you're working with China, they're going to get rid of you.
We have to take back control of our lives. We have to take back control of technology, and we have to do everything we can with legislation and lawsuits to have these illegal tracking systems and control systems removed, and at the same time have mitigating systems where we have older automobiles and other systems that don't have all of this tech wired into them.
The best thing to do is just leave the system. It blows my mind that people can see how corrupted this fake government has become, and yet they still think that the way to fight them is through the governmental process, legislative process, whatever you want to call it. I'd like y'all to hit the comments and tell me how that's supposed to work. The law is only used against you. If you try to go against the law, what do? They put the jammy in your face. So the only way for you to get what you want, or to get what we want, is to go and take it.
What's up now, punk chick?
We can fight it at the grassroots by not complying or having the software wiped off your, quote, smart device or smartphone or smart car. But more important than that is simply legislatively banning this garbage because it's beyond Big Brother and it's absolute tyranny, and it's been rolled out to, again, game and control and manipulate civilization towards a very evil end of the globalist endgame. The model for internet censorship is going to be phased in Chinese-style net censorship. Net IDs, net taxes, 3 strikes and you're out net rules. But before they get to that, they're going to phase in. It starts this next year, just 10 days or so, or less, I guess 9 days, in China. And they're already lining up with Facebook, Google, all of them agreeing with China, Microsoft, to implement these systems where China already does it, and then they beta test there and then bring it here. Everything you do in China, from your credit score to what you buy, to discount cards, to your internet records, to what you say on social networks, is integrated into an algorithm. And if you criticize the government basically once, you can't even buy or sell. You can't get a hotel. You can't travel. Now, I knew this was coming, but to see it actually happen is so bold, is so over the top, that I get why people just can't believe it.
So there you go, Kim, folks. Now, I can't speak for all of you, but speaking for Rondo, I have no choice. I can't be a part of that. Why? I can't even. I was getting banned on social media before I ever had a channel and physically voice what I was saying. I would just share links and comment on stuff and I would get banned. Under this system, I'm going to starve to death. More than likely, I'm going to be taken to a detention center. So, that's not an option for me. Is it an option for you all? Is that the way y'all want to live your life? If your answer is yes, that's a sad existence. But it's going to be your existence. So if you like it, I love it. But I'm not with it, and I'm looking to take steps to avoid getting caught up in all of that. And if all of you people are still sitting in these cities, that's what awaits you. I don't know what you're waiting for. When things start going left, it's already too late. The only time to move and prepare is when it's quiet. And with that, we're going to get up out of here. So like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So say goodnight to the bad guy. Go on.
I am a human being. I exist.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions.
Send the word.